Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing my top 30 MetaQuest games for summer 2026. And this video is slightly altered from the top 50 I made around Christmas time because, to be honest, there really hasn't been any new VR games on Quest that I think are capable of toppling this list that you're going to see today. And if you want to pick up any of these games off the Quest store, please use code GTVR. This will save you 10% on all of your purchases and it supports the channel. In at number 30 we have Breaches. This is a brilliant 5v5 tactical shooter by Triangle Factory, which is VR's answer to Rainbow Six. There's two factions to play as with tons of equipment like C4, breaching foam, drones, EMPs, and you can hookshot your way to climb buildings and then smash through the windows, which feels really cool. In at number 29 we have Underdogs VR, a physical based roguelite brawler with a high difficulty curve, and luckily, being a roguelite, it has a very addictive gameplay loop. The movement system is similar to Gorilla Tag, seeing you use your arms as movement, but it also plays like a strategic boxing game with tons of customizations and upgrades for your mech. Through the story you'll meet a variety of characters and merchants you can gamble with, sell secrets to about other merchants to get a discount, and there's opportunities to steal scrap, and you can also get mugged in a street fight. In at number 28 we have Contractors Exfilzone, which has two modes. Exfilzone, which is the tactical PvPvE extraction mode, basically like Tarkov, then there's the Battle Royale mode, and both of these have full cross-platform support between MetaQuest and PC VR. In at number 27 we have Into the Radius 2, and it's currently in early access on MetaQuest, but this hasn't stopped the devs really focusing on trying to bring the Quest users the very best port of the PC version. Stepping into this one on Quest was pretty incredible the first time, especially after they dropped the recent Quest 3 enhancements. It really does deliver all the atmosphere of the PC version, and due to its addictive gameplay loop being more of an extraction shooter, I often find myself playing this one time and time again. In at number 26 we have Walkabout Mini Golf, which has pretty much unlimited replayability due to all the crazy DLC and is a brilliant way to catch up with friends online. The game looks kind of simple on a flat screen, but is actually really beautiful in the headset. There's tons of DLC from well-known films and games and avatar customization, and is simply a very wholesome game to play. In at number 25 we have Tactical Assault VR, which is a realistic close quarters FPS with asymmetrical maps where players stack up, breach doors, clear rooms, and complete objectives like retrieving intel, planting and defusing bombs, neutralizing high-value targets, destroying targets, and extracting hostages. There's tons of weapons which sound incredible, and really cool breaching tools like the Underdoor Snake Cam, Riot Shields, and a Sledgehammer. Don't let the low poly graphics put you off. It's a super intense Ready or Not style game that requires teamwork, and one mistake can end your mission really quickly. In at number 24 we have Thrill of the Fight 2, the fully reimagined sequel to one of VR's most authentic boxing experiences out there. And Thrill of the Fight 2 has multiplayer and finally a full single player campaign mode. It's got customizable avatars, skill tests, and after playing the early access version, I think this is one of the best and most authentic boxing games in VR right now. In at number 23 we have the original Contractors, which I rarely play for the actual game itself, but instead it's the incredible modding scene that has given me some of the best moments I've ever had in VR. And that's because a lot of these mods not only have the correct gun models and avatars, it also has the correct physics. So it really does feel like you're playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Halo, or Star Wars Battlefront. In at number 22 we have Clone Drone in the Hyperdome, which has beautiful voxel style graphics that may look basic on a flat screen, but they look absolutely gorgeous in the headset thanks to some beautiful lighting and bloom effects. In at number 21 we have Vracer Hoverbike, which is as close as you can get to Wipeout or F-Zero in VR. It's got great graphics, tons of awesome tracks, cool weapons and customization for you and your bike, and is superb fun online. For the entire week after it was released, I was playing this game every night online with random racers. It's got a great community, and overall, as racers go on Quest, it's pretty much the best we have. In at number 20 we have Red Matter 2, and this is no slouch on any system, but the developers really went to town on pushing the very best visuals for the MetaQuest 3 version. With increased render resolution, 4K textures, dynamic shadows, and high quality shadow filtering, and not only does it look fantastic, it's a really cool game too. Red Matter 2 is an eerie sci-fi puzzle adventure, which some people may find a little slow paced, but personally I absolutely loved it. In at number 19 we have Skydances Behemoth, which takes a stab at bringing Shadow of the Colossus to VR. The combat physics are brilliant, and when it comes to the graphics, I was definitely impressed on Quest 3. It's not the perfect game, but there's seriously nothing else like it in VR. The grapple mechanics are excellent, especially when it comes to the Behemoth encounters. It really does hold its own in comparison to PC and PSVR 2. In at number 18 we have Into Black, which is a highly underrated game and was a brilliant surprise for me back in 2024. It's got so many elements of games I like, including Deep Rock Galactic with a sprinkle of No Man's Sky, and it looks absolutely brilliant on Quest 3. With a super smooth frame rate, extremely bold colours and some crazy environments. In at number 17 we have Arizona Sunshine 2, and is a fantastic sequel to one of the most well-known zombie games ever in VR. It's literally an upgrade in every single way to the original, and with the inclusion of Buddy, your canine companion, he is what makes this game super special. He can attack zombies, collect items, and overall makes the single player experience really unique. The variety of zombies and the sheer amount of them inside the headset, especially on the hardest difficulty, is pretty special to see. In at number 16 we have Zero Caliber 2, and the developers Xreal have really nailed a fantastic, lengthy single player campaign for VR. It's full of fantastic set pieces with over-the-top explosions, tons of weapons that feel great to use, and all of these weapons have lots of customizations, and there's a very diverse weapon modification system where you can change your weapons up on the fly, making it an awesome game to play in VR. In at number 15 we have Ghost Tabor, and is easily the best and most popular VR extraction shooter we have right now. The developers Combat Waffle have been non-stop pushing updates. It features 50 plus modular weapons, limb damage, meds, bosses, airdrops, vendor machines and crafting. And the most recent update included dynamic weather, which is a complete game changer. In at number 14 we have Dungeons of Eternity. Team up with up to 3 friends and take on never-ending procedurally generated worlds and challenges filled with a variety of enemies and level ups to unlock a seemingly endless amount of weapons to make your character stronger and your next run even greater. The game also features some really cool questary enhancements. In at number 13 we have Blade and Sorcery Nomad, and is potentially one of the best PCVR quest ports we've ever had. After playing Crystal Hunt earlier this year on PCVR, I was absolutely shocked with the quest version, and there's nothing missing in terms of content. Blade and Sorcery remains up there as one of the must-have games that constantly improves year on year and has a real immersive physicality that really does prove how immersive VR can be. In at number 12 we have Asgards Wrath 2, and for those who invested time into this one, found a game that not only looks fantastic, it has so much gameplay, and you can easily put 50 hours into this and still be nowhere near rolling the credits. The map is bigger than Skyrim and has tons of NPCs, boss fights, quests, a never-ending amount of very clever puzzles, and even has its own built-in roguelite. In at number 11 we have Alien Rogue Incursion, and if there's one thing Survios really nailed with this one, it's the atmosphere of playing an Aliens game with weapons that are truly solid to the touch and feel great to use in VR. You'll be fighting waves of enemies, and there's thick smoke from pipes, snow when you're outside or inside a room when the windows are smashed, and it has some brilliant lighting effects, especially with the latest update. In at number 10 we have Metro Awakening, and as a fan of all the other Metro games, this was a great VR entry into the series with a spin-off story called Awakening, and it delivered exactly what I was hoping for. It's an atmospheric first-person shooter with tons of jump scares, excellent weapons, and a lengthy campaign with awesome graphics. It's not really a fast-paced shooter, but there are cinematic moments like using the minigun to fight off hordes of Nasalis, and most of the time you'll be collecting ammo and fighting human bandits. In at number 9 we have Ghost Town from Fireproof Games. It's a VR puzzle horror, but it is light on scares, and instead has a great atmosphere and some of the best graphics I've seen on MetaQuest 3. And what starts off with you helping spirits move on into the afterlife soon turns into a fantastic supernatural adventure with photorealistic environments, incredible lighting, and the developer cleverly captured the 80s vibe in your London flat, which is also your base of operations, filled with CRTs, VCRs, and the music and voice acting is delivered really well. Overall, Ghost Town is an absolute must play for anyone with a VR headset. In at number 8 we have Demeo Battlemarked from Resolution Games, and they've officially brought Dungeons & Dragons to VR, which can be played solo or of course multiplayer. And as a fan of the Demeo series, I honestly feel this is the best game Resolution have ever made. The inclusion of Dungeons & Dragons gives you epic places to visit, lots of characters with tons of well-acted voice dialogue, and an actual story with multiple locations to visit which can be done in any order of your choosing. And for the first time, character customization. You can pick one of the 7 to 8 adventurers to then invest XP that you get from playing the game into progression of that character, and then unlock or improve their abilities. The graphics are lovely with some nice environment animations, and overall it's been a massive and welcome surprise to an already stellar VR game lineup on the MetaQuest. In at number 7 we have the MetaQuest version of Arken Age, and it's up there as one of the best PCVR and PSVR 2 ports to a standalone device I've ever seen. Arken Age has excellent VR mechanics with full body presence, and everything feels solid to the touch. The combat is engaging and rewarding, blending shooting and physical attacks, deep weapon customization thanks to the many mods and blueprints you'll find on your adventure, and all of this fuels your progression through the 6 to 8 hour campaign, which also has some boss encounters and a new game plus mode for replayability. In at number 6 we have Marvel's Deadpool VR. Deadpool delivers fast-paced, over-the-top action with colourful and violent comic book styling, featuring some epic cinematics, 5 boss battles, and 4 Mojo arena modes like Capture the Flag and Deathmatch, but this has a Deadpool style twist. Your in-game combos charge a special meter later, and when it's activated, you get access to epic weapons like Thor's hammer and Gambit's explosive playing cards. You obviously have Deadpool's regenerative limbs. It's a very straightforward A to B adventure, but it does include collectible comics, Marvel cameos like the epic Ghost Rider, and has an 8 to 10 hour campaign where you have to capture famous Marvel villains for Mojo's Deadly Game Show. When you use your special weapons, you're treated to some licensed 90s music, which is a great nod to the latest Wolverine and Deadpool film. In at number 5, we have Assassin's Creed Nexus, and it has remained one of my personal favourites to revisit. Personally, I think it's got gorgeous graphics, and they cleverly ported the parkour movement to VR, making it easy to traverse the environments, but still kept it fun. Becoming Ezio for the first time and seeing the blades spring from your wrists and jump from rooftops to do the iconic stealth takedown is pretty unforgettable. You also get to embody 2 more characters spanning across 17 chapters, and it easily has over 12 hours of gameplay, and still stands as the best Assassin's Creed game I've ever played. In at number 4, we have The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Saints and Sinners is seen by many as one of VR's essential games, and is still one of the best, if not the best, zombie survival game we've ever had in VR. It's got a lengthy campaign with multiple story arcs, fantastic stabbing mechanics, physical interactions, and tons of weapons which all feel great to use. There's also lots of gear and blueprint crafting recipes, and it set a benchmark for many VR games in terms of mechanics going forward. In at number 3, we have this superb port of Capcom's Resident Evil 4 done by Armature Studios. The original Resident Evil 4 is one of my favourite games of all time, especially on the Nintendo GameCube. Now, there's a few ways to make this even better to play today. One of them is using Quest Optimizer, where you can up the frame rate and the resolution, but there's also now a Resident Evil 4 definitive mod, which adds all the original effects back into the game, along with bloom effects, better blood, overhauled player and character models, metallic objects look shinier, you get better scopes, improved geometry, and other game modes. In at number 2, we have Forefront from Triangle Factory. It's been one of my favourite VR games to play this year, especially online, and I think the developers completely nailed bringing Battlefield into VR. The VR boots on the ground experience is fantastic, but the vehicles and partly destructible environments make it insanely immersive when you're actually on the battlefield. If you're not playing this already on the Quest, you're really missing out. And that brings me to my number 1 MetaQuest game, and that's none other than Camouflage's Batman Arkham Shadow. I believe this is technically one of the best MetaQuest 3 games ever made, with stunning visuals that come close to PCVR and PSVR 2. A full Arkham game with a 10-hour story packed with side quests, collectibles, challenges, cameos, the maze-like Blackgate prison, and the dark and dirty streets of Gotham just make this an incredible game to explore. The combat has many people divided, but I think they nailed it perfectly, using a lock-on system to create combos that flow into the 50+ numbers, especially when you start using Batman's gadgets, and there's some epic boss fights. Since the original release, the developers added Predator maps inspired by Arkham Asylum, City and Origins, the I Am Knight Permadeath New Game Plus mode, which unlocks the Prestige Gold Batsuit and more polish, improving the gliding haptics and leg animations. Well, that's all I've got for you today. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.